Hello, welcome to Super Math Help 24. We want to look at this problem. Can we factorize this? This is a quadratic expression. We're looking at it. We want to see if it is possible to factorize it. Now, looking at it and using the usual method you were taught on how to factorize quadratic expressions in school, it will be difficult to factorize this. But the truth is that every quadratic expression is factorizable. You may not get real factors. Your factors may not be real. So let's get into this video and see how we can handle this. All right, let's see. We are required to factorize x squared minus 3x plus 5. First of all, let me write the question. X squared minus 3x plus 5. Now, if you use discriminant, if you've handled quadratic equation and expression well, you will know what I refer to discriminant. This is what is referred to as the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. This expression tells you if a quadratic expression is factorizable. In fact, it gives you a property of a quadratic expression or an equation. If we use this, let me apply it. Remember that my a here is 1, my b here is minus 3, and my c here is 5. If I apply this, I'm going to have my b squared minus 4ac will be, my b squared is minus 3 squared minus, this is 4 times 1 times 5. This will give me 9 minus 20. This will give me negative 11. Now, this discriminant is telling me that this quadratic expression cannot be factorized using the usual method. But we'll still go ahead to factorize it. Now, I'm adopting a method which was introduced by a one-time leader of US Math Olympiad team, Professor Paul Shenlow. I'm adopting some of the things he did, so I'm not taking credit for this work. So first, let's go ahead. Now, we want to factorize this so that this x squared minus 3x plus 5 will be the same as x plus m into x plus n. Now remember that m or n could be positive or negative number. It doesn't really matter. We'll get to the final answer. Now, there's an important property. The way you were taught this, or the way we've always studied the quadratic equation, is I multiply this term and this term. It will give you a number, and then you look for those factors of those numbers that will give. For example, 1 times 5 will give you 5. Look for 2 factors of 5 that will give you negative 3. And there's none. No real number will give you that. But there's a special property of addition that we're going to use to solve. Now, instead of using this product to get these factors, we are going to use the sum of the numbers that will give you this. There's a special property of sum. When you sum two numbers, it has a special relation with the middle or half of that number. What do I mean by that? Let's look at this number. Say e.g. 20. Think of any two numbers that will give me 20. Let me take, let's say 17 plus 3 will give me 20. Now I can express 17 and 3 in relation with half of 20. How? Now 10, which is half of this number, plus 7 will give me 17, right? Do you observe that 10 minus 7 will also give me 3? And when you add these two numbers, it will give me 20. Let's pick another number. Let's pick 50. Okay. Now we need two random numbers that can give me, that will sum up to 50. Let me use 41 and 9. Now 41 plus 9 will give me 50. Now, what's the relationship between the middle of 50 and this number? Notice that 25 plus 16 will give me 41. Also, 25 minus 16 will give me 9. And when you add these two, you get 50. So this happens whether the number is positive or negative. Even if it is fraction, this is a special property. That's what we're going to use to factorize this. Now, with this in mind, I will go back to my equations. My equation is x squared minus 3x plus 5. We want it to be in the form of x plus m into x plus n. All right, now notice that what I did here, I'm going to do it here. Now, I want half of 3 plus a certain number, okay, is going to be my m, while half of 3 minus the same number will give me my n, such that if I add these two numbers, my m plus n is supposed to give me the middle term, that's minus 3, right? So what's my n? And if you notice this, minus 3 over 2 plus c plus minus 3 over 2 minus c will give me minus 3. Of course, if you add this and this will cancel out. And also m times n will give me what? Will give me, from my equation, what is my equation? 5. Will give me 5. So what's my m here? My m is this. That's minus 3 over 2 plus c times minus 3 over 2 minus c will give me 5. Now, take a look at what's going on here. If you look at this, if you know something about a difference of two squares, you notice that what we have here is factored form of difference of two squares, meaning that if you expand this, you're going to end up with minus 3 over 2 all squared minus c all squared will give me 5. Okay, so from here I have 9 over 4 minus c squared will give me 5. Okay, so we can continue. I think we still have space. So from here, it means that if you solve for this c squared is equals to 9 over 4 all right, c squared is equals to 9 over 4 minus 5. Okay, all right, so c squared is equals to 9 over 4 minus 5. Now, solving this fraction, c squared will be this will be 9 minus 20 over 4, and this is minus 11 over 4. So if you take square root of both sides, you have minus 11 over 4, which will give me minus 11 all over 2. Okay, now that's the value of our c. So our c is actually plus or minus. So we have plus or minus root minus 11 over 2. Now this is a complex number, okay, but we'll continue. So from here, let's get back to our m. Remember that we said that our m is equals to minus 3 over 2 plus c, okay? And if I substitute this value here, let me take the plus first. This will be minus 3 over 2 plus root negative 11 over 2. Now that means my m is equals to negative 3 plus negative 11 root all over 2. That's my m. Like I said, this is a complex number. It's an imaginary number, so we can just, we're not going to write a final answer. Now, what of n? M is, we said our m was to be minus 3 over 2 minus c, and our c is this, so our n is equals to minus 3 over 2 minus, what do we have as our m, minus root negative 11 over 2. So our n is negative 3 minus negative root 11 over 2. Alright, we've gotten our m and n. Now we'll go back to what we were given. We were given x squared minus 3x plus 5. We want to factorize it in this form, x plus m into x minus n. Now notice that whether I used this plus or minus, I will still end up having my m and n. If you use minus, the values for my n will become that of n, and this will alternate, it, so it doesn't really matter. So that's why I just use a positive value, because you're not going to get any two different values. Now substituting the values of my m and n here means that the factored form of this equation will be x, my m is this, x minus 3 plus root negative 11 all over 2 close, and x, my n is minus 3 minus negative root 11 all over 2, and this is the required solution. Now this can also be written in imaginary form as x minus 3 plus I being root negative 1 root 11 all over 2, and x minus 3 minus I 11 over 2. So this is the factored form. Alright, we'll stop it at this point. Thanks for being a part of this video. Like, share, and follow our page on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we'll interact more and learn from each other. Thank you.